Hello. In this video I want to share a few thoughts about French polishing and also a few more thoughts about this piano in the middle here, which is a Steinway, and we've already made a video of this piano, but if you look at the polish, this has been French polish, 70 coats of French polish roughly, and then afterwards it's finished off by rubbing down an antique waxing to give it an antique look, which is what we prefer. And my colleagues left this piano very light on the top, but it did mean that he couldn't go so light on the inside of the piano, but he particularly liked the rosewood colour on the top, the honey coloured rosewood. If you look here, you'll see that it is a slightly different colour on the inside. It looks more contrasting on the video than it does live actually, and I think it's very acceptable and it's beautifully redone. Obviously my colleague is an artist and loves to do French polishing of pianos, and we've done many others. There's plenty of videos on that. Now if we lift this up, you'll see the difference in colour, and obviously we can go for completely this darker colour generally, but he wanted to leave the top light. That's unusual. Normally we try and integrate the colour, and as we'll see on another piano in a minute. This isn't the original music stand. He's made the grain look a bit more like rosewood, because I think this was much straighter. Now we can actually put the original style of Steinway desk. This is a modern reproduction of one, and this is an older one, this original Steinway desk. Now this is the Bluth-Legrand piano. It is a lot darker, as you can see, in colour if you compare the two, although the inside is perhaps more akin to this Bluth-Legrand piano here. But Bluth and Steinway both have very special veneer. We're really encouraged to repolish these so they come up very beautifully. Very often you don't see much of the grain until they are stripped and repolished, and here's going around the side of this one. This one's just been finished, literally just come out of the polishing room, and we just put some photos of it on. If you're interested in this piano, we're still working on the action. The hammers have being replaced. We've sent off to Germany for some, so it hasn't got the action inside the piano at the moment, but we particularly love this style of Bluth-Legrand piano. This is the older patent action Bluth-Legrand. So yesterday that was in the polishing room, and now this is a younger style Bluth-Legrand, post 1925, which means it's a roller action, and talk about that a lot on other videos, but mainly I want to show the polishing here. Obviously this needs repolishing. That's the modern logo for Bluth, starting from 1925. Occasionally you get a patent action with that logo on, but normally hardly ever you do get that, so that would normally indicate that it has a roller action in the piano. As I say, we talked about that on other videos, so I haven't got time to go through that now, but this side is very dried out, so this is an obvious candidate for repolishing, and they polish beautifully. They're obviously different. This is mahogany, not rosewood, and we lighten this up. Normally if that's stripped, we make the finish slightly lighter. If you want a darker piano, then obviously that's something, if you're interested in a Bluth style 4, this is particularly excellent. It's already been reconditioned by somebody. Action standards have been replaced. We've mentioned that before. If you're interested in inquiring, please do write to info@robertspianos.com. We do have another one of these in the showroom that's worn up, but this is a clear candidate for repolishing, and we'll look at staggering once it's finished. And this has just come back into stock. The client needed an upright instead of a grand, so we've brought this back in. I think we sold this in about 2016. Now you can see a slight fade line on here. I'm going to use the opportunity to mention this. It may well have had the fade line before. It may not have been the client who previously had it. I don't know if you can see it very well on the video. It's very reflective. Sorry about that. Let's go back here, and there you can see there a difference in colour in the front part. That's because the lid's been folded back here. That's so common for the lid to be, let's just take it back and you'll see what I mean, for the lid to be down folded, and then the colour here. So the colour then becomes the same here and there, and then becomes darker underneath. It's not too bad in this occasion, but sometimes you get very marked lines here. So if you do have a French polished piano, if we French polish the piano, please do keep it generally away from strong light, That's really important, obviously away from direct sunlight, but just indirect sunlight will also fade it. And also keep this sometimes closed, sometimes open. This also hasn't got the action in. We're working on the keys on this, just trying to improve one or two keys that are blemished. So it's a very pretty piano, and this Mason and Hamlin, it's American, and we'll talk about that later on. I don't think I've got a video of this piano, but we'll talk about this piano once it's ready. These are the keys to the Mason and Hamlin. So that one's been clamped, it's been re-glued, and various small repairs been done on this piano. One key top changed that didn't quite look right. So we're obviously trying to improve the piano as much as we possibly can. These are ivories, by the way. You can see the line there, front and back. They're usually in two pieces. Sometimes you get one piece ivory, but in the older pianos it's normally two pieces. Going back to the Steinway, this is boxwood inlay, by the way, and it's beautiful and wonderful to be able to keep that. And my colleague also, because it had a Harrods label on here, it's, some people like to know that the piano came from Harrods, and it has actually a Harrods label on the inside as well, but it's just nice to keep that. So he's masked that off and left it there. So I've already made a video of this piano, just a few more thoughts really. The touch is very light on it. Now we can make that heavier if you want a normal touch. It's about 20% lighter than it would normally be, but some people want a light touch, so for the moment we should leave it like that. And if you love the piano, and my technician here loves the piano, he's a piano player, and I do as well, so I want to encourage you to purchase the piano, obviously, and then we can custom the weight according to how you like it. We normally would put it like a new piano, so there's no reason why you shouldn't practice on an older piano. The tone to me is beautiful, and I only have older pianos in my house because I like the tone better. So I hope that's been helpful. Thank you very much for listening. I think I made a mistake earlier. I think it's 70 coats of French polish. It's actually 30 coats of French polish. It takes 70 hours. I got the figures wrong, but it's a long job, French polishing, and a labour of love really.